Look who is back. The All-Stars from Tulsa National Little League. Got to know them pretty well here in Waco. 11th straight trip to the Little League Baseball Southwest Regional. That means more nerve-wracking moments for mom and dad in the stands. There's the cool customers from Lamar Little League representing Texas East, the Little League that won it all here in Waco en route to Williamsport a year ago. Major ramifications in this game. Game 2 is Louisiana and Mississippi. 2 winners from day number 1, and then the first elimination game, New Mexico and Arkansas, Texas West. All-Stars for Bernie, the only team not playing in day number 2. With Connor Wanhanen, I'm Loa Galindo. Welcome back to Waco, Texas. It's only day number 2, but this game has significant ramifications, even for a team like Oklahoma playing in their first game. Whoever wins this goes all the way to the semifinal game, one step removed from that championship. And this is also a rematch of last year's semifinals between these two Little Leagues in which Lamar Little League won a season ago.
It starts to get really competitive here quickly. You talked about this Tulsa National team that's been here 11 straight years. They're very comfortable in this moment. But you're going to go against a really tough team in Texas East, and what Lamar did yesterday, it was really impressive baseball. Convincing 10-3 win over their counterparts from Texas West. They only needed 5 hits to do it. They took advantage of 9 walks, but the pitching and the defense for Marcus Creation's club was stellar. That's what they hang their hat on. Expect to see more of that today. You talk about this Tulsa National team. They're playing their first game here by yesterday. They're chomping at the bit to get back to some baseball. They've only played 2 games in their state tournament. Just the way that the schedules line up. They run-ruled both of those games, and they hang their hat on pitching as well. It's been a dominant performance, talking to Cole Abbott on the mound for this Tulsa National club, and they're looking to get the same thing started today with Gibson Shriner.
We just saw a couple of our old buddies. Number 3 over at first base, Luke Woody. He was part of the All-Star team here a year ago, and so was Gibson Shriner. Threw an inning and 2/3 last season, no hits, 2 strikeouts, so he was very good, and he's back on the bump for Tulsa National. Now, in terms of the lineup, it is a continuous lineup in Little League play, meaning every player on your roster has to hit. So for Texas East, Lamar Little League, it's a 12-dude lineup. For Oklahoma, they're going with the largest roster size, 13 players here in Waco. Sheldon Tucker will get it started. 0 for 1 yesterday, but 2 walks, and that was the story for Texas East. They beat Bernie 10-3. And as Connor mentioned, 10 runs on 5 hits. That is hit hard up the middle. And at second base, Landon Kirby makes the play in time.
Now, this has become the theme year in and year out here in Waco in the Southwest Regional. The defense has been stellar, and you've seen a lot of really good plays. This Oklahoma team, their first ball in play here. It's a nice play at second base by Kirby, able to make the throw across his chest. You're going to see a lot of that here this morning.
Not a bad way to start for a team that hasn't played since winning the Oklahoma Championship on July 1st. Big Poppy, first pitch swinging. Oh, watch the hands over there. Justin Pollard at third base. One of the assistant coaches. That's Stanley Tucker. Check that, Justin Pollard in the dugout, last year's manager. Big Poppy, okay, his first hit here in Waco. Ball gets loose, decides to stay put over at first base.
Just a beautiful piece of hitting. You talk to Marcus Creation, he's one of the best hitters that he's seen at this age group. You see he lets that ball travel over the outer half and lines this just over the head of the second baseman. Quiet day at the plate for Antonio Rodriguez yesterday, but gets it going here early with a single.
He's going to be the starting pitcher for Texas East for the 2nd straight game. And this is Chase Gibbs. Drew a walk in game number 1. That win against Bernie, Texas. Home plate umpire, Philip Ramirez. Mark Brown, Todd Marr, Amy Brown also joining him on the field. This one is popped up to left field, and the diving catch in and out. The throw to second base does not come in time, and that is going to be Gibbs on first. Big Poppy to second base, and no one paying attention, and Poppy takes third. And this is how Lamar won a day ago. When you fall asleep for a moment, they take advantage.
Antonio Rodriguez making sure that we all had our coffee this morning. Taking an extra base on there. You saw the tough play just a moment ago. Really tough for the left fielder, Brogan Liu, to come through and hold on to that ball, survive the ground. It's a tough one. You see Rodriguez, though, here gets a look. He realizes that nobody's paying attention and that ball is still live. That's heads-up baseball that Lamar plays. You're looking for that extra 60 feet every time you can. Puts themselves with runners on the corner, shows one out in the first inning.
And that's Stanley Tucker, the heads-up coaching over there at third base, realizing that Maddox Dotson was off the base. Schreiner had his head down. We're talking about 60 feet. That's the distance between the bases here in the Little League level. It's not a lot of room that you have to make that break and navigate.
No, you've got to look at the third baseman there, Maddox Dotson. He's not that far away from the base. It's very aggressive move by Lamar on the base pass. Get your first look at Cole Abbott, the manager for Oklahoma, who had high praise for his pitching staff coming into this tournament, even though they've only played a couple of games together, and Gibson Schreiner leads that charge.
Up and in, Easton Martin went for it. Matchup of two players that were here in the Southwest Regional a year ago. Easton Martin back for Lamar Little League. Gibson Schreiner back for Tulsa National. Look out, hot shot, foul left side.
Hey, you gotta get it.
Well, it does not appear that the boys from Texas East want to win via the walk again today. They are swinging the bat and hacking here early through the first 10 pitches.
But that was the style that Marcus Creation, the manager for Texas East, really was raving about, that there's so many different ways that they can beat you. I mean, no doubt they've got speed on the bases, excellent defense, solid pitching, but there's some juice in these bats as well. Martin, another chance for Liu in left field. It's going to be the shortstop, Jackson Wortham, that takes care of it. And everybody stays put at first and third.
That's really nicely done, taking charge by Wortham, going out there and calling his own card at the shortstop position. Trying to keep this a scoreless ball game.
Easton Pollard stands in. Got two Eastons in the lineup. And I'm not sure if either of them swings an Easton. Out of play right side. Good run though for the boys from Tulsa National. Stretching out the legs in our first game. And we have our first courtesy pinch runner. That's Easton Martin over there at third base. He's running for Big Papi Rodriguez, who is the starting pitcher. You are allowed to run for your pitcher or catcher with 2 outs. Hot shot right back to Schreiner, who's going to run it over, just say, you know what, may as well step on the bag. And fantastic job as Lamar puts pressure on Tulsa National, but they settle in and get out of the inning without allowing a run. Always an honor to play in Waco, but if you have your pick, play the early game. Play at 10 a.m. compared to 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock before it becomes really unbearably hot. I don't know if these boys even feel it. especially this guy. The opener, Big Papi, Antonio Rodriguez. He's starting on the bump for the second straight game. He pitched 23 pitches yesterday, finished the first inning. Now 23 pitches, that takes us to the second threshold. That on the surface looks like it would require 1 day rest. But since he started his last batter under that threshold, he's allowed to come back without a day of rest.
Yeah, and you get a look at the numbers that he had, a couple of punch outs yesterday.
And there is the starting 13 for Tulsa National with Luke Woody, one of the 2 returners with Gibson Shriner in this Tulsa National lineup. Luke Woody, the starting first baseman. First pitch for Rodriguez, and this is hammered out of play.
Now, the rumor is you're going to see some long balls from this Oklahoma team. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Only 1 home run in last year's Southwest Regional, but you talk to this coaching staff, there's a lot of power up and down this lineup for Tulsa National.
And a power arm for Rodriguez, one of the hardest throwers for Lamar Little League. No wind at the moment. It was blowing straight in yesterday. Fence is 225 feet out. That is ripped. Right field, the throw to first. A little high. And Woody for a moment thinking about second base. He'll stay there with a leadoff single to right for the returner, Luke Woody.
That's a really pretty piece of hitting to get things going. So he gets an elevated breaking ball, and when it pops up there around the zone, it's going to flatten out for him, laces this ball into right field. Now, the short dimensions, you've got to get on your horse out of the batter's box.
Yeah. No one likes to be the guy that's thrown out from right field. Here's Leighton Kirby. And there for a low strike. If you look over at first base, you can see Luke Woody as he gets set to take off to second base. No leads in Little League Baseball. You cannot leave the base until the pitch arrives at the batter. And that was straight field from Big Papi Antonio Rodriguez.
Now, the height looks really good for Rodriguez through the first 5 pitches. Now, left that breaking ball just a shade up to Woody that allowed the hit, but that fastball is down around the knees.
And working low here to Leighton Kirby. 5'3", 11-year-old. Has got the most power in this Oklahoma lineup, according to his manager, Cole Abbott. That's in.
Now, it's a ball, but it's a really good pitch because now you have Kirby thinking about the pitch on the inside half. You can't just center out on anything that's out over the plate. You've got to respect that inside fastball.
Lifted to center field. Brooks Yeager goes back, makes the catch. And that is the first out.
Number 10, Kai Turley.
Kai Turley now the batter. Another 11-year-old, 5'9", big Jordan Walker fan. Kai's mom, Macy, played softball at OU. Wore the number 10, and her son making that number proud with a single to right field.
You can see these guys have been chomping at the bit to play. Swinging early and off, the ball gets in on him, but the big frame is able to muscle it down that right field line, keep it fair. And a nice job out in right field by Landon Alvarez. You don't see it on screen, but that a really strong throw to third base keeps Woody out at second.
Gibson Shriner, he was a dude at the plate in this regional a year ago. Big hats like that. Love it. Hit .429 for Tulsa National last season, a run that ended in the semifinals against this same Little League. Lamar Little League out of the Houston area. Technically Richmond, Texas. But this is really a team from the greater Houston area. And teams from greater Houston have been winning this region lately. If you know about that area, that city, it's no surprise that that is a fact. A lot of talent in those parts. Schreiner, right side. Oh, Lincoln Dubé, we missed you, buddy. Back with the beautiful backhand stab to save a run.
You know, starting to think that these aren't just highlight plays. This is what Lincoln Dubé does. And it doesn't look like a whole lot, but could go to the backhand with a runner in front of you like that, knocks it down, gets the force out, and then a strong throw across the diamond as the cherry on top. Lincoln Dubé is a force on the defensive end at first base and changed the game for Lamar yesterday.
He is a defensive robot at first base. Automatic. Everybody does move up, and this is an enormous early at-bat for Cade Dodson. Him and his twin brother hit back-to-back. It's Cade followed by Maddox. Let's see if Scoop can come through with 2 outs out in front of that. Well, back to Lincoln Dubé. My goodness. He was the defensive star in yesterday's win against Bernie Little League. Made an incredible defensive play with the bases loaded, laying out and throwing home to get the out. Could that play yesterday be as good as the one that we saw today? Certainly could be as important.
Yeah, get a look at what he does yesterday. This is a critical situation, laying out to the right, gets the force at home. Snared a liner over his head too later in the ball game that saved some runs. Talk about the defense affecting the game, and Marcus Creation, when we talked to him this week, they hang their hat on their pitching and defense, and we saw it on display yesterday.
I love an athletic first baseman. So many times it's just, and this is all levels of baseball, put the big donkey over there that can hit some bombs. Get someone that can move, that can pick it, like a Lincoln Dubé, just short. And the tag is made in time, and that does it. 2 runners left stranded. Defensive gem by Lincoln Dubé. No score after 1.
We are trying to run out of highlight tape for Lincoln Dubé and with what he's doing with his glove at first base. Yesterday's diving to his right with the bases loaded to get the force at home. He snares a liner over his head that killed some momentum offensively for Texas West. Pings another one that's right in front of him and then carries it forward into today as well. He pitched yesterday for Lamar. This guy's doing it all with his glove, and now we'll get to see him lead things off here in the top half of the second inning.
And we thought had the best flow of the regional until we saw Ryland McKernan for New Mexico with hair that has not been cut since kindergarten. But the flow still solid for our guy Lincoln Dubé, leading off the top of the second. Winner of this game goes to the semifinals. And that is hit hard under the glove of Kirby, but he recovers in time, past his chest and says, hey man, I messed up the first time. I ain't gonna let you down the second time. Not a way to stick with it.
Now, this is really well done at second base for Kirby. You see he's going to his left into the hole, and you realize when you're at second, you've got a little bit more time. If you can keep your eye on the ball, get your bare hand to it, you still have time to get that throw over. That's well done defensively, hanging in there.
It's going to bring up Brooks Yeager, 2 for 3 yesterday. Had an amazing bunt that backspun in front of the pitcher to allow Yeager to book it down the line. Yeager to center field, and that drops for another hit. Brooks Yeager going off, now 3 for 4 here in Waco.
It's a beach ball right now for Brooks Yeager. See, he gets the bat to it at the top of the zone. Really tough to get on top of a ball enough where it's not just a straight pop-up here. You see he dunks it right in front of Case Moore, the center fielder. Third hit of this Southwest Regional for Brooks Yeager.
Big moment here for Madden Creation, son of his head coach, Marcus Creation, who was a national championship winning defensive end at Oklahoma. And I think it's going to be pick your sport for Madden. And whatever he decides to do, he's probably going to be great at it. Love the nickname as well, Mad Dog. That's over the head. And Yeager takes second base. Reminiscent of how they won game number 1 against Texas West yesterday. And there is Marcus. Won the 2000 national championship for Bob Stoops in Oklahoma. And that photo shows his then girlfriend, Erica, who was a cheerleader at Oklahoma, and now his wife. All started in Norman. That's in there for a strike, full count. And it was great talking with Marcus because you can tell he gets it. Playing and succeeding at the highest level, he keeps the important things important here with great perspective.
He's done such a good job of passing on that experience to this group, and you could see it the way that he talks about his team and the way that these guys played yesterday. It was a really mature approach for this 11 and 12-year-old age group.
Big swing and a miss. Schreiner with the strikeout, his first.
It's a great job by Gibson Schreiner hanging in there. See, he stuck a fastball inside on the corner to get strike 2 at a 3-1 count, and then elevates to get the swing and miss over the top. It's a really nice job to get to the second out of the inning, and you're a pitch away from getting yourself back into the dugout.
Landon Alvarez is the batter. First pitch in there for a strike. Brooks Yeager, the runner on second base. He's got wheels. Can Sweet Boy land and bring him home? Coaches say Landon never backs down from adversity. Very close. But it's 1-2. Schreiner looking for back-to-back. Pitch number 28 coming up. Nitty-gritty from Alvarez. You will hear the chants of Big Blue from the stands. A Lamar Little League nickname. Schreiner got him back-to-back for Gibson. Baby Blue wins that matchup.
That's how you do it. Couple of punch outs with a man out in scoring position, scoreless. Bottom of the second coming up.
It's Texas East and Oklahoma winner to the semifinals of this Little League Baseball Southwest Regional. 10 regional sites around the country. Winners come next week will all advance to Williamsport for the Little League Baseball World Series. 7 teams here. We will whittle that down to 6 by the end of this second day. Bernie, the lone team, not playing today. The teams from Texas, though, have really dominated as of late. It's either been Texas or Louisiana, really winning over the last 15 years. Texas East with Antonio Rodriguez now pitching into the second inning. He got the start yesterday, only pitched the first. Stayed under the second threshold of the pitch count, which made him eligible to return today. Texas East is 15-3 over the last 3 Southwest Regionals. The only team to beat them in that stretch, Louisiana. And that speaks to the power of baseball in the Houston area, as most of these teams from Texas East hail from the great city of Houston, H-Town. Here's Mad Dog, Maddox Dotson. How's Big Poppy looking on the bump to you?
You can see the fastball. He's had good control of it so far today. It's been down around the knees, just like this.
Oh, that's smooth by Easton Martin over there at shortstop.
And that's the thing I think that's been a little bit different from his start yesterday. We talked about it. 23 pitches for Antonio on the mound to open up game number 1 for Lamar yesterday, but the fastball just looks a little bit more crisp now. You see he's crossed over 20 pitches, so now we'll require another day of rest. However, you can't throw 3 days in a row.
The only pitcher not available to throw today for Texas East, the All-Stars from Lamar Little League, is Lucas Castellanos, who was fantastic in relief of Rodriguez yesterday. 1-1 the count to Brogan Lou. Saw Brogan lay out left field with an awesome effort play. Big Bryce Harper fan. Why not?
And you've seen Rodriguez go to a little bit more of the soft speed against left-handed hitters and had some really good secondary stuff down and in. Then when you can pipe a fastball like that, though, then why not? 2-2. Now he has options, can do what he wants to do here if he's going for another strikeout.
Certainly looks more comfortable on the bump, especially that first game. Both of the starting pitchers for Bernie and Lamar looked like nerves were a little bit of a factor.
Yeah, he's a guy, too, that works across his body. You'll see that left leg as it comes down. It's a little bit at an angle where he's torquing across towards the left-handed batter's box. Seems to be in a good rhythm with that here through his first 26 pitches.
No chase. And Brogan was looking back just to make sure. He gets a fist pound from his pops, Trevor, coaching first base, former farmhand in the Detroit Tigers organization. It's going to bring up Braden Brock, not to be confused with Brendan Brock, who won a national championship with Skip Johnson and the Oklahoma Sooners this past season. That's huge for baseball in the state of Oklahoma. And when you consider baseball in that state, in terms of what it means for the Southwest region, as that ball is in the dirt, no throw from Pollard. That will move up Brogan Lou. No team has made a bigger jump over the past 10 years than Oklahoma. And it's all the kids from Tulsa National. That is the only team that has represented the state of Oklahoma in that 10-year gap. But it has been a significant jump in the productivity and the way they play the game.
Yeah, there's been just a lot of investment by the community as well. And you talk about all of the moving pieces it takes to have a well-run and strongly operating Little League organization and what Tulsa National has been doing over the past decade plus. And we saw it firsthand last year, how much of that talent that comes down here to Waco. And you've got another team again this year that has a couple of the same pieces, but it's very much a reload on an annual basis.
11th straight regional appearance, meaning they have won the Oklahoma Championship in 11 straight years, most by any Oklahoma team. Two teams from the state have made trips to Williamsport back in '64 and '88. Certainly last year's squad looked like they were talented enough to be that team, just eventually ran out of some pitching, but they had some upper echelon arms and bats in that lineup.
Yeah, it was special. There was some special talent individually on the team. You just run into a Lamar team that was playing good, really good baseball and hard to beat. That's a great pitch to get the swing miss.
And Rodriguez is looking really good. So he gets the strikeout, his first.
And when he really gets around and on top of this breaking ball, you can see the depth that it's got to it. Just falls off the table, and it's really tough for a right-handed hitter to lay off of it when it starts over the plate. Can't throw it any better for Antonio Rodriguez.
Here's the catcher, Gage Summers. First pitch swinging, laced to center field. Will this score a run? Here comes Brogan Lou, and Oklahoma scores first. Gage Summers, RBI single to center field.
This is what you have to be successful here. As good as Rodriguez has looked, he gets a fastball that's down. Gage Summers, a great swing on this, lining this right back up the middle. And you can see Brooks Yeager shifted up towards the left side of second base, so that run's going to come home easy. 2 out RBIs are the difference here when you're vying for a trip to the Little League World Series. And Oklahoma strikes first here in game 1 today.
And set up by a gutsy plate appearance by Brogan Lou, working that count, working the walk, taking second on a wild pitch, and then scoring. Uh-oh, just missing the barrel. Did he make the catch? No, but man, Creation showed how tremendous of an athlete he is. Mad Dog Madden nearly had a Sports Center top 10.
Yeah, and the fact that he's even able to get gloved to this is impressive. He's using every bit of that long frame that he has. This ball's not in the air very long at all. He has no time to react to this, but just a pure play athletic move, and almost the best play that we've seen here in this tournament so far.
Like no business even getting close to that baseball.
Yeah, that's one that 95% of guys just watch and fall. You're not taking a step to it.
And you could just tell sky is the limit for Mad Dog. Whatever sport he decides to eventually focus on, and hey, why not play two? It's all good. To left, but that's going to hang up and into the mitt of Chase Gibbs off the bat of Riker Roma. But Oklahoma gets one. Gage Summers with the RBI, and it's 1-0 Oklahoma. First hydration break is complete here in Waco, Texas. It's going to be hot. We got temps reaching 100. Leading up to the championship game on Tuesday when one of these teams on the 7-team field will secure a spot in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And summer will continue. Winner of this game goes all the way to the semifinals, where both these teams, Tulsa National Little League for Oklahoma, Lamar Little League for Texas East, were able to reach a year ago, with Texas East winning en route to winning the whole Southwest Regional. Loa Galindo here with Connor Wanhanen, and this is how our bracket looks. We got Louisiana, Mississippi, 2 winners from yesterday. Coming up next, first elimination game, New Mexico and Arkansas. The All-Stars from Boerne lost their opening game yesterday. They have a day break, and they'll come back and they'll play at 1:30 local time tomorrow.
A lot of baseball left. A lot of baseball left here in Waco, and you get a look at the boys from Louisiana. That's the best thing about this, too. You're in the summer. What else do you have to do other than come out to the yard and watch some of your competition, just be around the game? That's why these kids are all here. They love it, and they're having the most fun of their young careers doing it.
A little bit of a slow start for Ascension Parish Little League yesterday, but they were able to get back in the game with an electric charge and ended up taking care of Arkansas 8-2. Lucas Castellanos is the batter. Gibson Shriner back on the bump. First pitch goes to third base, and Maddox Dotson makes the play.
It's about as smooth as it can look for Maddox Dotson over at third base. And for Gibson Shriner, anytime you can get 1 pitch, 1 out here to start an inning, that puts you in a really nice spot. As we've been talking about pitch counts, it takes some of the calculus out of it when you're having really quick innings out there on the bump. These coaches have to be masters of those pitch count limits, the rules, and their strategy moving forward over the next couple days.
J.D. Hamilton, the batter. Pesky at the plate, getting in the 11 spot. Was able to draw 2 walks game number 1 yesterday. And the teams that are having success, the bottom part of the lineup, those are the teams that are coming up with wins. With the continuous batting order and having a lineup of either 12 like Lamar or 13 like Oklahoma, your top bats are going to have fewer at-bats than another brand or style of baseball, meaning you have to get production in the bottom part of the lineup to make a difference. Off the glove of Shriner. Look who's there. Ranging at second base is Layton Kirby, but the first baseman was off the bag, so Hamilton is aboard safely. And you can hear the coaches from the dugout saying, we're going to challenge this. Luke Woody made the gesture of the headset, feeling like he was on the base.
And you get a great look at it here. You see the throw is just a shade up the first base line. And this is tough. As a first baseman, you're stretching out. All of your momentum is going away from first base. It's very hard to keep that back foot firmly planted on the bag. Our first base umpire's right on top of it. And you know he's looking just for some space between the end of those cleats of Luke Woody at first and that white bag at first.
Mark Brown, first base umpire, no hesitation in that call either. And he's looking right at the foot of Luke Woody. And so, not even sure if that was a review, a challenge, or if it was just really quick.
You heard him talking about it, but either way, we're moving on
play
with the
ball
call as is. You know, it was a great effort at second base by Layton Kirby on that. That's a ball that's deflected by Gibson Shriner, so you've got to keep your eye on it, but results in a base runner for Texas East.
Base knock for J.D. Hamilton. And he is on for the 3rd time in this regional. Brady Stulak, the hitter. That's elevated. 3 pitches and the strikeout for Gibson Shriner. Number 3 for Gibb.
You can see why he's one of the better arms in this pitching staff for Oklahoma. He's had some success at the top of the zone with that heater, able to get the swing through, his 3rd strikeout in the last 2 innings.
And confirmation that that play was not challenged, meaning that Texas East will, Oklahoma will still have 2 challenges available. Back to the top of the lineup, and Sheldon Tucker. So we play a 6-inning game here in Little League. Both teams are allowed 2 unsuccessful challenges. After that second unsuccessful challenge, you lose them until you go to extra innings, in which case you would get 1 challenge for extras. Sheldon to second. Leighton Kirby snares it for out number 3. To the bottom of the 3rd with Oklahoma leading 1-0. Our 7-team field, we've got 3 winners from day number 1, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas East. The 3 teams that came up with L's in day number 1, Arkansas, New Mexico, Texas West. With a 7-team field, it's a little difficult formatting the bracket, so there is an annual rotation among the 7 teams to decide who gets the first day bye. And there are some advantages to it. And we're seeing it for Oklahoma, that if they win here, it's 1 game and into the semifinals. But it rotates every year to make it fair on who the team that does not play in day number 1 will be.
Gosh, tough to make your more traditional bracket with a 7-team field that's included. But if you do get, it's a year where you've got that bye, which is where Oklahoma sits in that spot. If you can take advantage of it.
Fine play by Easton Martin off the bat of Jackson Wortham. Huge when it comes to pitching as well,
Massive.
not having to use as many arms.
Massive. It's 6 innings, presumably, that you don't have to account for, that these other little leagues will have to navigate through.
Riker Kime. Favorite player is Gunnar Henderson. Another 11-year-old. So you look at this roster for Oklahoma, and this is a team that will have the opportunity to come back with a lot of these players next season.
And there's so much to be said for experience, too. You've been here. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but you're playing in front of the cameras. You're playing at a really nice facility here at Norcross Stadium. The pressure of what's at stake here, it starts to get real for you. And if you've done that once, you can really lean on that experience. That's at all levels of baseball.
It's a 1-0 lead for Oklahoma. Gage Summers had the single to drive in the lone run. That was an inning ago. And Antonio Rodriguez piles up another strikeout. He's got 2. His 2nd straight day on the mound for Lamar Little League.
Number 14.
Really settling into a more traditional start here. Just his 23 pitches of work in the opening roll yesterday. where he worked that first inning, but able to stick a fastball in there to pick up his second strikeout.
Case Moore is the batter, hitting in the number 13 spot, as Oklahoma does have the largest roster. That means all the players on the roster hit with this continuous batting order to make sure that everybody gets their chance to play. In the past, the rule was everybody on the roster had to play, had to get an at-bat, so you really had to be creative in terms of when you would pull those pinch hitters in. This makes it a lot more easy to manage, just knowing that everybody on the roster gets to hit. It's clean cut, and then you can have free substitutions defensively.
You think it makes it a little bit more seamless, and it's so much that these coaching staffs have to manage as far as the pitch counts and whatnot. It takes that piece out of the equation. I 100% agree with you. If you're worrying about not only pitch counts, making sure that you're keeping your players safe, but then also you have to substitute in and out over the course of the game.
And also great to see Oklahoma with 13 players on the roster. I mean, you can have the mindset go smaller, get your top bats, more ABs, or honor the kids that deserve to be on the roster and take them regardless of, that means your roster size goes to the limit. To third base, Creation. Yeah, he's that guy. Batting Creation over at third base and a 1-2-3 inning. Big Papi, Antonio Rodriguez. Want your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. Mo Galindo here with Connor Von Hollen. Remember my days playing at Northside Suburban Little League in San Antonio. A lot of good baseball. A lot of good trips to the concession stand.
Is your jersey in the rafters out there?
It should be.
Should
if
be.
It's not. I mean, extra small, yeah. Here's Antonio Rodriguez. But those were the days, man, like you just knew you were playing in the big leagues. All the kids out there knew that they were going to be the starting shortstop, center fielder for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, baseball's a lot easier of a game when you know with 100% certainty you're showing up to the park with 3 knocks that day.
Oh, yeah. Gibson Shriner back out there facing Big Papi, Antonio Rodriguez. And having a favorite player like Big Papi for Antonio to emulate your game after. This is into the mid, Brogan Lou in left field. That was the best part, right? Like trying to look like your heroes.
Yeah, it's funny. You go back, I think about my own swing, and it pretty much between the ages of 8 and 13 just mirrored whatever Mark Teixeira happened to be doing over the given course that day.
Yeah. But I love it. You hear people say success leaves clues. And even if some of the stuff may be a little unorthodox, I'd rather model my game after someone that's playing at the highest level.
Yeah, there's a reason why it works, and obviously takes a ton of physical gifts to be able to play this game. Oh, a little bit of chin music for Chase Gibbs.
And Gibbs is saying it hit me, and there we go. So this is a play that you can challenge. And with a 1-0 lead, every base runner is important.
Just a little bit up and in, and getting away from
Does it catch that left shoulder?
Gibson Shriner. Yeah, it had to have been if that's the case, but no protest from the Oklahoma dugout.
See, that's probably like the gap in maturity between Chase Gibbs at his age and me at that age. As this one is well hit to the outfield. It's down at the track, ground rule double. Gibbs will have to be halted at third base. And Easton Martin put a charge in that one. Now they're trying to plead their case that Gibbs should be allowed to score.
Wow, get a look at the swing, and he's loaded into his back hip. That's where that power comes from for Easton Martin. And we're testing the fence for the first time here. Almost our first home run. Just a clean one hop over, grounds rule double. A big swing for the right-hander, getting everything out of his frame. And even though that run doesn't come home, obviously you want the scoreboard to try and tie up, see Marcus Creation have a conversation. But you're in a great spot right now if you are Texas East. You've got an opportunity here with your not only tying run, but the go-ahead runner out there in scoring position. You've got the middle of your lineup coming up. Easton Pollard will head to the plate right now, and he's been in that situation before.
Pollard, the lone returner from last year's team that won the Southwest Regional. Texas East has just come up with their first extra base hit of the Southwest Regional this season. We got a slight delay. And back to it, as Pollard will try to get Texas East on the board. Strike one swinging. That nearly hit Pollard. So a hit by pitch to Gibbs, the double from Martin. But runners on second and third with one out. Waves the bat. Did he go? Did not. And I wish you could have seen the reaction from Pollard at home plate. He was so excited when he got that call from the first base umpire.
Yeah, look at the arm strength there to hold that up.
Ooh. Easton's dad, Justin, was the head coach of this squad that won it all last season. And that is fouled. And what a play, ranging in foul territory. And the runner now is off second base. Mayhem, the run scores. Gibbs somehow scores when he had no business doing so. Tied up at one.
Now this is what the Lamar All-Stars do. You'll see it looks like not a whole lot is going to happen. This ball just even with first base. But what you had was Easton Martin getting caught in no man's land between second and third. And he gets into that rundown. Just that little window is all Chase Gibbs need to slide in underneath the tag. Tie ball game here in the fourth.
I think the confusion was whether the runner at second base had tagged or was simply off the base, and that's why the throw went there. Because if he did not tag, that runner is out at second base. I I could not see from our angle up here with the action in foul territory at first if the runner ever went back to tag.
Well, and this is one of those balls that's foul automatically all the way. And it looks like there was some confusion between Martin and Gibbs as far as, is this something that we wanted to jointly advance on or not? And you get a look at another look at the sequence here. Yeah.
But why would the runner be off the base at all for a foul ball on the first base side? Not exactly sure what we're looking at. They said no pitch. So is this a challenge that came in before that pitch?
Yeah, you wonder about the timing, but that's certainly the way that it looks, as our umpires are going to take a look and call back to see it this one. I have to imagine, Lowell, they're talking exactly about what you were just describing, that play out at second base.
Now it's completely moot point. If we see
Hello, this is Waco.
that Martin is on second base when the catch is made, that run scores. But if Martin is already off the base, that throwback to second is certainly in time, and the defender was on the base, it should have been an out.
Yeah, you got a lot of questions in this too. Was he on second base? The fielder. Obviously, as we get into the second half of this game, and as closely contested as it's been, every single pitch and play of this magnitude carries a ton of weight. Talk about what's at stake. You're playing for a spot in the semifinals here.
I guess what makes it confusing to me is these boys from Oklahoma know ball. They were all pointing at second base when guys that know ball know after that, there's no, if that runner is already tagged, you just come home with the baseball. There's no play at second base.
It's funny, and I saw it the way of, you've got a base runner that's halfway to third base, but the runner at third is still standing on third. So, hey, we've got, whether it's a tag play or not, we've got some action here defensively to get him into a rundown. But either way, some heads-up baseball defensively for Oklahoma. You see Luke Woody ranges in to foul territory here, and then all of the attention goes to your base runners. You see he's immediately looking at Chase Gibbs, who's the runner on third, but then you've got Easton Martin, the base runner from second, caught out in between. And that question, I think, has to be whether or not he was on second base when that ball was caught or not.
I just don't think we have the angle to show. We're looking at that ball being caught in foul territory. We pop up.
Will do.
The runner is halfway to third base.
We're going to find out here pretty soon.
Okay, so we just heard Cole Abbott said you're going to step on the mound, step off, and throw the ball to second. So they have to appeal. And so that is what Cole Abbott is talking about. Did the runner leave before the ball was caught in foul territory? So Schreiner will now step off. He'll throw to second base. And that is indeed what happened. The run will be erased. It is 1-0 Oklahoma, as it was deemed the runner at second left before the catch was made in foul territory. Wild.
And there is plenty to unpack here. And you're certainly going to think the Texas East is going to want some explanation as well on this massive point in the game, though. But it is still a 1-0 lead for Oklahoma.
All right, wild turn of events here in Waco, Texas, as we go to the bottom of the fourth with Oklahoma leading 1-0. There was the foul ball caught by Luke Woody. On that play, a runner was off second base. Oklahoma threw to second base, and Lamar was able to score the run from third. But after the appeal, it was ruled that the runner on second left before the catch was made, meaning the throw to second base would have led him to be out for leaving early.
And I think adding to the confusion is you actually had another pitch thrown after that sequence that was then ruled no pitch by our umpiring crew. So they'll come together now, and everybody's still continuing just to sync up. It's a 1-0 ball game, though.
Just ask him. Not sure what is happening right now. So we're going to have another meeting between the umpires, and just to be completely honest with everybody, we have no idea what's going on right now. Because the run is still on the scoreboard.
And you see some conversation between Cole Abbott, the manager for Tulsa National, and our umpiring crew. And now,
so now we're being told the run counts because the run scored before the out was made. But if they threw back to second base, the defender was clearly on the base before the runner scored.
a lot of confusion around this play, and
our scoreboard that you're seeing right now shows Oklahoma up 1-0, but the word from the press box, which is echoed on the score from the scoreboard, is that that run counted even after the appeal. But that should not be the case. And so the boys will So now we're getting word that the game is under protest. I believe this means that Lamar Little League has protested the game because of that call. It's Oklahoma that is actually protesting. I'm not sure why Oklahoma would be protesting.
Well, the only reason that Oklahoma would be protesting is that the ruling is that that run would have come home. So they would be protesting that the run shouldn't count, which would be reflected on what the scoreboard says on your screen. Now here at Marvin Norcross Stadium, still showing 1-1, which is what Oklahoma would be protesting. The fact that because the out was then called on the field by the umpire after the appeal, that the run shouldn't count.
I got you. Even though technically, if that play is happening live, that is the third out of the inning.
Correct.
And that run coming home from third base would have never counted in the first place.
Hello, this is Waco, Texas. My name is Todd Mark.
So the game is under protest
We are under a protest
from Oklahoma
The Oklahoma manager
because after appealing,
retouched
the runner
the run should not score.
the runner left early at second base.
The Oklahoma manager
After the appeal,
retouched the force out, so the run should not score.
and we have confirmation that indeed Oklahoma challenged the play at second base. And after a step off of the appeal with a throw to second base,
Go ahead.
the officials on the field ruled that runner was out, but they still counted the run scoring from third. And Oklahoma's point is, if that indeed is the case, then the run from third never should have counted in the first place.
That's the objection from Cole Abbott and his Oklahoma coaching staff.
So we have changed our score on our bug to match the official score here inside Marvin Norcross Stadium, which shows the game still being tied 1-1. So this started as a challenge by Oklahoma. It is now under protest by Oklahoma because the run counted. And the score right now is officially 1-1. And so if it's real time and they ruled that the player was off second base early, and from that angle, the run clearly should not count. So a lot on the line here in this game. It's still just the fourth game of the Southwest Regional, but the winner of this goes all the way to the semifinal game. And this is a rematch of two teams that faced off in the semifinals a year ago, with Lamar Little League representing Texas East getting the win. And so we are on hold as the game is officially under protest by Oklahoma. And now we're going to have a meeting between the tournament director and the umpire crew to get this figured out.
So, the call wants continuous play. One scores before they appeal for the third out. If they appeal the third out, they just wait, but the one does score. is denied. And if he needs to talk to me, I can talk to him. So I wait here, but if the run scores, third out is made, Oklahoma comes back. Okay? And I'll wait here if he needs to talk to me. Okay?
You got it. I'm pointing for the plate again.
Yep.
So the protest was denied by Oklahoma. The run still counts. So they made the appeal, they got the out at second base, but the run still does count.
Yeah, so the conversation around that is because it's a continuous play and the run scored before the appeal, that is why it is ultimately counting. You see the conversation between Cole Abbott and some of our staff here right now. So the score is correct on your screen and here at the stadium, 1-1. Well, and you see what the margins are, especially between these two teams. We've talked about the success and the history between them. You don't know which run is going to be the deciding factor. This could have huge implications for both these teams moving forward. So important to slow it down, get it all right on both sides, which it looks like folks have done here.
Wow.
I'm going to go get another coffee.
Yeah, you may need one. We all do after that. So let's play ball. Let's figure it out on the field.
This is when you step in and hit a first pitch homer.
Yeah, that would be ideal, right? Here comes Luke Woody. Second time up, had a single his first time. And that is roped. The dive gets past the right fielder. Here comes Luke Maverick Woody. Is he going to be rounding third? Yes, he is. Luke going for it all. And inside the Parker. He did just what you told him to do.
This is Luke Woody saying, I don't care about any appeal. I don't care about any past play. Get me in the present and let me hook this breaking ball into right field. He went this way back in his first inning to lead things off. And this is where you've got to be 100% sure as a fielder you can stop it down. 60 feet base paths. He's standing up. Show him exactly where he is. Luke Woody breaks the tie one more time.
Wild sequence of events. An appeal, a failed protest, a ball ripped to right field, inside the park home run, and it's now Oklahoma getting that lead back. Wild. After everybody takes a deep breath, it's Leighton Kirby, a two-hole hitter.
Yeah, just needs to let some air out of this place here for just a second.
Remember the sign that we saw off the top about the blood pressure going
Yes.
up for the parents?
Yes, we did.
Probably at an all-time high over the last 15 minutes and change here. It's away and it's 2-2.
That's a really nice idea from Rodriguez, trying to get the strikeout. The approach for Kirby at the plate, though, and it's a professional one according to his coaches. He likes to stay up the middle.
That runs in. We got a full count. Pitch number 53 coming up for Antonio Rodriguez. Staying alive.
And he just a hair underneath this one. A really nice swing. Rodriguez challenging him with one over the plate. Kirby, the type of guy you do not want to throw that same pitch to. 8th pitch, the AB coming up.
In on the hands and just firing those hands in time to foul that one off.
Now, this is good on good right now. In the matchup for Rodriguez, he's moving the ball in and out, up and down with different speeds, but you've got a really nice experienced bat at the plate in Leighton Kirby.
Gutsy plate appearance for Kirby as he draws the walk.
Fight off a couple of tough pitches there to work that walk. And you know everybody wants to come up here and hit a home run, but those are the type of at-bats that a lot of times will get innings going. And now you give Kai Turley an opportunity, the big swinger with a runner on first base.
Turley's got some juice in that bat as well. And only 11 years old. Coaches love his approach because it's through the big parts of the field. Here at Marvin Norcross, everything is 225. From left field, center to right. We have our first home run inside the Parker. It is going to take a massive blow to send one over these fences. Wind is not helping, it's not hurting either. No breeze to speak of. After it was blowing straight in, not too strong, but still straight in a day ago. 1-2 from Antonio Rodriguez to Kai Turley. Leighton Kirby on first after the walk.
I'll tell you what's really impressive about Big Papi Rodriguez on the mound. He is not afraid to throw inside with conviction. And you don't see that a whole lot at the college level, let alone the Little League regionals here. He is not afraid to go inside of those right-handed hitters, and he's doing it with accuracy. It makes these big bats uncomfortable.
Kai Turley's mom, Macy, part of Oklahoma's first national championship in softball in 2000. So on one side, you got Kai Turley, whose mom played softball at OU, and the third baseman. His pops played football and also won a national championship at OU in the same year. Turley with the walk, it's going to bring up Gibson Shriner.
Now batting, the pitcher number 27.
You just get the feeling you're going to see a big boy hack here coming up early in this at bat. If Shriner gets something that he likes, it's elevated.
And it seemed like the odd events that we had in the top of the fourth would have sent momentum over to Texas East, the boys from Lamar. But after that protest, after the break, the inside the Parker from Luke Woody, seems like it quickly shifted back over to Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, you come up, you put a good swing on that first ball that Woody sees, and that can sometimes give everything in the stadium. It takes it and puts it back into your own dugout. And that's what you're seeing so far, loading the bases up with some traffic right now. You get one of your big bats and Shriner to the plate. It just feels like he's coming out of his shoes at one of these.
Strike one to Shriner. That's 62 pitches now for Antonio Rodriguez. So he will require 3 days rest. As he was the game one opener, pitched the first inning for Lamar in their win against Texas West yesterday. 2-1, nobody out for Gibson Shriner, trying to help his own cause. Big cut, and it's 1-2.
Just an unbelievable pitch there. You know you've got somebody who wants to be aggressive with the slug at the plate. Rodriguez breaks off that breaking ball down and in, gets him to swing right over it to get to 2 strikes.
Just getting ahead of that. Found the stitch. First game for these Oklahoma All-Stars since July 1st. Hit well by Schreiner. That's going to be caught in center field by Yeager. The tag from second. And it's Slayton Kirby advancing to third. And now out in center field, Yeager is hurt.
Medic.
It's Brooks Yeager out in center field. He's been one of the stars of this Lamar Little League squad. Obvious moments of concern. You can tell from the reaction from Landon Alvarez, the right fielder, his hands on his head. There was an obvious reaction of concern. We'll step aside as Brooks Yeager's checked out. Emotional scene moments ago as Brooks Yeager walks off the field with his manager, Marcus Creation, and you see the motion from Marcus signaling that it's something with his right elbow. We're not going to show you the replay, but obviously there was some discomfort when he came up and made that long throw from center field and went down holding his arm. Antonio Rodriguez, his day is done on the mound. Gutsy performance from him, pitching in his second straight game. And now the way injuries work here in Little League postseason play, they will be able to skip Brooks' spot in the lineup, and he will be due up second next inning without penalty. And we'll take another break as we have a new pitcher getting ready to take the mound for Texas East. Welcome back to Waco, Texas. The new pitcher is Lincoln Dubé, taking the mound for the second straight day. Pitched 23 pitches yesterday, but started the last batter he faced under the second threshold, meaning that he is eligible to come back and pitch in his second straight game. Favorite baseball player, Nolan Ryan. Come on, man. Growing up in the state of Texas, that's like a must, especially if you're going to pitch a little bit.
Yeah, not bad at all, but especially with the leather that he has flashed on the defensive end and showing what he can do on the mound. Gave up a few hits and a few runs yesterday late in that ball game. Now Texas East was cruising to that victory, that 10-3 win that we had discussed versus their rivals from Texas West, but Dubé takes it again. A litany of defensive changes that we'll get for you as well.
Cade Dodson, the first hitter, shows bunt, and it's right back to Dubé. He looked at the runner for a moment, threw to first. The runner scores, and Oklahoma also moves a runner up to third base. So Leighton Kirby, aggressive break off third base, looked Lincoln Dubé right in the eyes, and as soon as that throw went to first, he scored.
And this is when you see Dubé here. Takes the out at first base, which is oftentimes what you're taught to do, but the aggressive base running by Oklahoma, you're able to steal a run there. That's not a suicide squeeze, that was a safety squeeze bunt. Kirby not moving on the pitch. Obviously, as you've got to wait till it crosses home plate here in Little League Baseball, but the boys from Tulsa National showing that they've got a number of different ways that they can do it. We saw an inside the park home run to get this bottom of the fourth started, and then a safety squeeze here steals another.
So Cade got the job done. His twin brother Maddox will now try to add another throw down to third base. That's going to stay in the infield. Turley staying put at third. A 3-1 lead for Oklahoma, winner to the semifinals. And this is take all the way. You saw the index finger go out from Oklahoma's manager, Cole Abbott. And speaking from experience, if you really want to make your Little League manager mad, swing when you get the 3-0 take sign. Now 3-2. Lincoln Dubé comes all the way back for the strikeout. Oklahoma with a big response, adding 2, and it's 3-1, Tulsa National. Day number 2 of the Little League Baseball Southwest region. From Waco, Texas, it's a 3-1 lead. Oklahoma over Texas East, a rematch of last year's semifinal game, which was won by Lamar Little League out of the Houston area. We go to the top of the 5th. We play 6-inning games. This was a game that was cruising right along. Both pitchers, Rodriguez and Schreiner, doing a fabulous job. Then we had the appeal situation, which grinded this game to a halt. Oklahoma came back immediately with the inside the park home run by Luke Woody to give them the lead back. Added another run on a safety squeeze, and now it's 3-1. You can see the coaching staff from Ascension Parish behind home plate. That's Team Louisiana. They will take on Mississippi in our next game here from Marvin Norcross Stadium. I'm Lo Galindo here with Connor Wanhanen. Luke Woody is the man that delivered the inside the park home run, first home run in the region this season. There was only one last year. Woody, one of the returners for Oklahoma. The other one is Buddy Gibson Schreiner, who looks like he could go the distance to send Oklahoma to the semifinal game.
Man, Woody has put 2 good swings on balls too, lacing 2 balls to right field and then showed off the wheels with the inside the park home run. You know, game comes to a halt like that in the middle. It provides opportunity for one of these teams to steal the momentum, and right now it looks like it's the guys from Tulsa National.
Schreiner with the snag, flips it to first, 1 pitch, 1 out as he gets too big. So now this would be the spot where Brooks Yeager would typically hit. Yeager hurt his arm throwing from center field to third base last inning, so he will not be able to continue. In Little League rules, when a player is injured and not able to continue, you can skip their spot in the lineup with no penalty. And so that means that Madden Creation will be the hitter. Strike 1 from Schreiner, no doubter.
You said it a moment ago, looks like he has the potential to go the distance. The pitch count is certainly in place to do it if he's able to continue throwing strikes early. Gets himself up 0-2 in the count. You got options. A lot of times we've seen him back that same pitch up with a fastball up in the zone. He was able to get Creation to swing through one of those earlier in these two's first matchup.
Getting a piece of that, fading into the mitt of Jackson Wortham, who's back at shortstop for Oklahoma. 2 down.
Now batting, number 44, Landon Alvarez.
There's Landon Alvarez. Pitch 1 is out. Alvarez fouls this one right back to us nearly.
It's been pretty good for Schreiner on the mound today. Scattering just 4 hits, the 1 earned run, has punched out 3, and the 0 in the walks category. We talked about yesterday the success for Lamar Little League. 9 free passes that they were issued in their win versus Texas West. They used that to their advantage. Only 5 hits in that ball game yesterday, but they made 10 runs come out of it. No walks today. Schreiner's been pounding the mid all morning long.
One real barrel that he allowed was the ground rule double to center field, and that's how Texas East scored their lone run. Off the bat of Easton Martin to score Chase Gibbs. Schreiner thought that was strike 3. He'll have to fire another one in there because the count is now full. And there's 2 plays. Right back to Schreiner. And he handles like he's been here before, because he has. 3-1 Oklahoma as we go to the bottom of the 5th. A 3-1 lead for Oklahoma as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Brogan Lou will be our leadoff hitter. Walked his first time up. A team from Oklahoma that doesn't have to play in district and sectional tournaments because it is a smaller footprint in terms of Little League charters in the state. Just had the win in the state tournament. They did that in convincing fashion, but it's been a lot of practice leading up to this, like more than a month. Talking July 1st, the last time that Oklahoma played as a Little League squad together. Now we know these guys have been practicing. They've been playing in tournaments on other teams as well. So keeping the skills sharp, they have looked the part of a contender right here in Waco. Can a team other than a squad from Texas and Louisiana win here in Waco? It's the big question this week, as we have not really seen that in recent history.
Yeah, I think the answer to that question, though, is definitively yes. It's just a matter of can they get through this actual bracket. The talent is there. We've seen that for the past several years as well.
I'll tell you, a team in Mississippi that we're going to see, I mean, they've got some dudes on that team that could be enough to carry that squad from Little Clinton, Mississippi.
You know, it's all about, in postseason baseball, regardless of level, it's all about getting on a run. You can have as good of a regular season as you want it to, but you've got to get hot at the right time. And even here in Waco, that's the same requirement. You've got to play really good baseball over the course of almost a full calendar week.
Brilliant pitching performance by Brentley Ashley from Mississippi a day ago. Also fantastic at the plate. 2-2 from Lincoln Dubé to Brogan Lou. And it's a full count. Eighth pitch of the at-bat between Lincoln Dubé and Brogan Lou. Dubé wins it. Pumps that fist in celebration.
Always feels good to win a long battle like this on the mound. It's exactly what you have to do in a full count. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Lincoln Dubé just challenging Lou with a pitch over the heart of the plate, and he wins it. Gets a strikeout for out number one.
Braden Brock up for the second time. Up the middle. And Easton Martin makes the play.
You know, second half of this game has felt like it's been all Oklahoma, really, since that stoppage. But if you're Texas East and Marcus Grayson, you are still very much in this ballgame. That team can put up runs in a hurry. Now, we haven't seen the bats really explode like they can, but if you're Oklahoma, you're trying to make this more than a 2-run ballgame.
Well, here's the dude that got the scoring started for Oklahoma. It was Gage Summers with an RBI single to right center his first time up. And that's going to be into the mitt. Over at third base, Rodriguez had the play, but mishandled at first. What an athletic play by Big Papi at third. Gage Summers is able to get on safely.
Now, this looks like it was through the hole on the left side immediately off the bat. Just a great job arranging to the left by Antonio Rodriguez. And that throw just a hair too low in the dirt, not able to be corralled cleanly by Brady Stulak over at first base, but a great effort again defensively for Lamar.
How smooth did Big Papi look? That was a big league play. Pouncing on third base.
I don't know if David Ortiz makes that play. I don't know if he gets there.
And the future is probably not going to be a DH for Big Papi Rodriguez. First pitch swinging is Riker Romine. And a fly out to left field his first time up. Favorite celebrity is The Rock. Not a bad pick. Favorite baseball player, he lists as Babe Ruth. I respect that. So Gage Summers heads to the dugout to get his catching gear on. So Braden Brock will be the pinch runner in his place. He can do this with 2 outs in Little League ball. And there for a strike to the little Bambino, Riker Romine. And strike 3 got him looking from Lincoln Dubé. Time for the bats to wake up for Texas East, down to their final 3 outs. Top of the 6th, 3 more outs for Texas East as they are chasing 2. 3-1 lead for Oklahoma, team that hasn't played since July 1st. Didn't play yesterday, the lone team not to play in the opening day, yet they are 3 outs away from moving to the regional semifinal game. Point where their run ended a season ago. Now here's big Kai Turley coming in to close this one.
Yeah, he gets everything out of that 5'9", 155-pound frame. 14 strikeouts in 5 innings on the way to this Southwest Regional. He's the guy that they want at the back end of the bullpen, and it's a live fastball for Turley.
First pitch swinging is Alvarez, or checked out Lucas Castellanos, and it's 1 down.
Now batting, number 11, J.D. Hamilton.
Sits between 68 and 71, according to his manager Cole Abbott. So that's some straight gas. Hamilton first pitch swinging. Turley in control. 2 down. 2 pitches, 2 outs for young Kai Turley.
And now this makes it a tough spot for Brady Stulak coming to the plate. Probably want to see a couple pitches. And we saw that this Texas East team very content to take their free walks and free passes. And if you can get that lineup to flip over, you get it to Sheldon Tucker, you get it to Antonio Rodriguez sitting in the 1 and 2 spot there, you give yourself a chance. Big at bat coming up for Stulak.
Brady Stulak up with 2 outs. Texas East trailing by 2. Oklahoma struck first and then had an amazing response after the long delay when Luke Woody came up and hit a first pitch rifle shot to right field for an inside the park home run. And the boys from Tulsa National Little League are closing in on becoming the first team not named Louisiana to beat a Texas East squad in the last 3 Southwest regions. But we ain't done yet. Stulak up the middle. That's one heck of a play by Worthing just to keep it from going to center field. But this is going to bring the tying run to the plate, and it is Sheldon Tucker, your leadoff man.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want if you're Marcus Creation's club. You give yourself a chance, and that's the question when you're down going into this last inning. Can you get the tying run to the plate, give yourselves an opportunity to run into one? Doesn't always happen, but you give yourself a shot. You're 1 swing away.
Here's Sheldon Tucker. His big bro Stanley Tucker played at Texas A&M. 19th round draft pick in the 2023 draft by the Boston Red Sox. Big sister Shanita, star at Southeastern Louisiana, now professional softball player in Europe. To third base, the backhand, the fire across the diamond by Dotson, and that does it. Oklahoma showing little signs of rust as they open up their run here in Waco with the win against the powerful Lamar Little League squad that won it all a season ago.
Yeah, man, what a showing by the crew from Tulsa National Little League. A heck of an effort here. Haven't played in over a month. You come out, you shake off some rust, you deal with a little bit of adversity in the middle of the game. But the 2 swings from Luke Woody really got it going. Of course, the inside the park home run, the difference maker in this one.
A little revenge for Tulsa National Little League after watching their season end at the hands of Lamar a year ago in the semifinal round. 2 of those players are back for Oklahoma, both difference makers with Luke Woody and Gibson Shriner clutch at the plate and on the bump. Oklahoma wins. Texas East still alive, now trying to survive after 1 loss.